Jack forbade the kids from wearing shoes. He also told them not to make a sound while walking, but the younger son, out of curiosity, accidentally turned on the music switch of a toy. Jack's face instantly filled with terror, and he ran toward his son as fast as he could, but it was already too late. It turned out there was a type of monster on Earth. They were blind but had an incredibly powerful auditory system. The slightest sound would instantly lock them onto their target, and the only outcome was death. To survive in this apocalyptic world, the remaining family could only live in the basement. The accidental death of the youngest son made their actions even more cautious. They installed surveillance cameras with no blind spots and dense warning lights. When going out to search for supplies, they laid fine sand all over the road. They abandoned utensils that might cause friction and ate with their hands. The kids played games in complete silence. They accidentally knocked over an oil lamp. Jack, fearing the fire might make a sound, hurriedly smothered it with his clothes. Although they lived extremely cautiously, they still faced a new crisis. Mom was pregnant. With the due date approaching, they laid 88 layers of newspaper in the delivery room. They made a soundproof cradle for the baby. They prepared oxygen tanks to ensure the baby could breathe. That day, it was time to go out and look for supplies again. Jack wanted to take his son with him to train his survival skills, but the accident with his younger brother made him hesitant. Mom encouraged her son to face his fears bravely. Soon after, Jack and his son returned home. An old man blocked their way. Lying next to him was an elderly woman who had been killed by the monster. The old man looked utterly desperate. Jack sensed his intention. He begged the old man not to make a sound, but then Dad immediately picked up his son and ran, hiding behind a tree. He covered his son's mouth tightly. The boy grew more frightened. Meanwhile, back home, Mom began to feel contractions. A greater disaster was about to strike. She switched on the warning lights to let her husband know something was wrong. Just as she was about to head upstairs, she realized the monster was already there. She quickly hid and grabbed an alarm clock, planning to use its ringing to create a distraction and get out of there. While the monster searched around, she had to clamp her hand over her mouth to keep quiet. Right at the last second, the alarm clock went off, and the monster lunged toward the noise. Meanwhile, her husband finally showed up with their son. When he saw the warning lights flashing, he took off running toward the house.